Hey everybody, how are you? I've come back to talk to you again. Guess what we're going to talk about today? Disaster. Total disaster. Oh, I've been on the page for the Bolivar Peninsula where I used to live. They had a planned power outage. They've been talking about it for months that this was going to happen. It was supposed to happen when we were down there on vacation. They're trying to upgrade the system so they don't have power outages that just happen. Um, anyway, due to weather, they didn't do it when we were down there, and they were doing it this week, actually, yesterday. And what I heard on there just amazed me because we've been talking about prepping. Actually, if you live on the Gulf Coast, you should already be prepared for these things because just a simple cooler would have saved a lot of stuff. There were several people on there talking about how they lost their food. It was supposed to be a 12-hour power outage. It was planned for that. But you know, as if you're fixing your car or fixing on something on your house, something always happens. It's never the amount of time you think, even if that's your best intention to do so. So, what happened was it wound up to be a 24-hour power outage, and there were people on there complaining that they lost their food in their refrigerator. And I'm like, I don't understand that. You have coolers. If you live on the coast, you got coolers for your shrimp, for your beer, for all your that. But you're not going to take your food out of the refrigerator and save it or put it in a cooler. You're not going to prepare ahead of time with some ice. Also, the freezers, all you have to do for your freezers, keep them shut. Don't be opening them in and out. Fill up your gallon water jugs and freeze them ahead of time and put them in there. Pack the top. That way your stuff stays frozen. One of the ladies on there said, well, I lost my food because my teenager was in and out of the refrigerator, and it got too cold. Oh, no, that ain't going to happen here. You better stay out of the refrigerator. And as a parent, I would be putting snacks and things like that, again, in a cooler with ice. So I'm telling you this story because, one, I'm just kind of floored that this was such a problem there. It's simple solutions. I mean, very simple. And what I worry about for people who can't even get through that amount of time, what are you going to do when it's a real grid down situation? It's these are the things that we've been prepping for. These are the things I teach about. These are the things that are just common sense on the part that I'm just telling you right now what these people were talking about. Living on the Gulf Coast, actually on the beach, is pretty tough environment. If you're a local person there, normally you already know these things ahead of time and you're prepared. So I'm not really sure what was going on with these few people who had so much to say about it. Two, your linemen are your life most of the time. They're out there in all kinds of weather, all kinds of situations, and everything to make sure you and your family are comfortable. If it took longer than it needed to take, it wasn't because they weren't out there doing what they're supposed to do. Things happen, and you need to be prepared for them. So I just really wanted to touch on that and talk about that for a minute today. Maybe let you rethink how you're prepared for things, even something as simple as a short power outage in non-freezing temperatures. Yes, it's hot there right now, but you're at the beach, man. Go outside, go hit the water slide. They have cooling stations there. The big store was open, the water slides were open, things like that where you could cool off. I even saw where the Eagles put on a barbecue, and it was just donations on, by donation if you want to donate. So the community really comes together in most situations. Communities around the country come together when those things happen. Make sure you're prepared. I mean, that was an actual planned thing, and people lost their mind over it. They made sure their phones were charged, but they didn't make sure they had food or that they didn't lose their food. So, something to think about. Again, I'm just floored that that was some of the comments that I was reading. The old school people who live on the beach, they can get through anything and everything. So, it wasn't really a problem for them, but um, I don't know. I don't know. So, what's your thoughts, guys? What's your thoughts on that? I'm just shaking my head because that's an easy thing to get through. Yes, a little discomfort here and there, but it was planned. Again, it was planned. You could have left the area, went and stayed somewhere to stay cool. Most people can, or go with family if you don't have money for a hotel or something there. But I'm worried for people when something worse happens. When we have another ice storm, or when we have other situations, or I mean, the grid went down at the meat packing plant. That wasn't a foreseen thing to happen. So what happens when it's our power at our house? Y'all thinking about it? I hope you are. I hope you are more prepared than the person who couldn't even think to have ice in an ice chest. And again, I tell you, if you live at the beach, you got a cooler. I know you do. Oh, we're cooler poor around here. We got a cooler for this, a cooler for that, cooler I take in my car, coolers for all over the place. I mean, and ice is plenty available right now. So if it's planned, why aren't you preparing? And if it's not planned, you should be prepared anyway for different situations. We can't plan for everything, that's for sure. But the simple fact that you lost all of your food in a 23-hour period is crazy. It's really crazy. Several million things you could do with it. Yes, I know that's dramatic, but I feel like some of them were being dramatic as well. Anyway, things to think about. Makes me fear for our country if people can't even get a cooler. Leave me some comments. We're at 199 subscribers. I'm one away from 200. If you watch my channel and you want to go ahead and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Leave me a comments. What do you think? Are you prepared for simple things at least? Maybe a week without a job before you got another one. Do you have food for that? I don't know. Do you have a little money stored away for if you needed a bill paid? If somebody got sick in your family, we're dealing with that right now. I'm still working, but we have doctors back and forth, extra expense for medicine, extra expense for travel to doctors, things like that. Do you have a little money put back for that? Or are you just not going to be able to do what you need to do? So, anyway, much love, guys. Get your cooler, get your ice if your power's going to go out. I'm still kind of, I don't know. What is wrong with people? Anyway, much love, y'all. Talk to you later.